Hello everyone. I wanted today to talk about the concept of spirituality and what it actually means to be spiritual because I see a lot of misconception around people thinking that someone who would be spiritual would be very peaceful and meditative and basically enlightened. But as someone who would consider themselves spiritual, I wanted to just share a little bit of truth or what it really means. People would think that someone who is spiritual would be into crystals and meditation and anything really that surrounds spiritual themes and concepts. But in reality, being spiritual can mean as less as basically being aware of yourself and your behaviors, your actions. And so I would say that being spiritual doesn't necessarily makes life happy and positive, because that's how also we expect a spiritual, enlightened person to be like. But usually it's not this way, it's usually the other way around, because we, as an enlightened, awoke person, we have way more awareness of ourselves. And it doesn't always mean that we do what's right or do what our higher self would do. Sometimes we just have to see things unfold and behave in a way that we know is not healthy for ourselves and beat ourselves up. For example, we can be depressed and we can know and think, oh my god, if I would just meditate or manifest, my life could have been so much better. Why am I not doing that? It's having this awareness that you can behave, you can be, and you can live a way better life, but for some reason you're not, and maybe you're in a way choosing it. Being spiritual doesn't mean you're enlightened and suddenly you're this perfect, positive person. It means quite the opposite. You have to literally dive into the deepest, darkest parts of yourself in progress to becoming that person. You have to look through themes like trauma, your issues, psychology, and really observe yourself and work on yourself and see what is going on within you. You have to literally look at your issues. And the thing about spirituality and being spiritual is that you cannot no longer give yourself an excuse for something. Because I've noticed it's so much easier to just not be spiritual. It's easier to have an ego and have an excuse for everything and a certain coping mechanism for everything. We always excuse or have a certain explanation that we really truly believe in while doing certain things, and we don't let in the awareness of it towards ourselves. We don't think we have a choice to act differently. It's like we work on autopilot, and as someone who is spiritual, you have to constantly question yourself and your beliefs. You see yourself act a specific way and you have to question yourself, hey, am I actually right in this situation? Being spiritual is not easy because you have to literally let go of your beliefs, let go of your ego, let go of everything you thought you knew about yourself. And it's sometimes tricky because sometimes you let go of that ego and sometimes you end up in a toxic situations where you believe, yeah, maybe I'm not right, maybe I should trust that person. But actually, sometimes it's just a lesson about your intuition and if you trust yourself and what is right for you more. So usually it's not that easy to distinguish between. But basically what I'm trying to say is that I consider myself a spiritual person, but that's out of work. It's not easy. You don't just become enlightened. It's a never-ending truly journey of trying to progress in this lifetime as a person and trying to see where and how you can learn. And yeah, sometimes you get into the traps. Sometimes you don't want to move forward. Sometimes things seem easy to resolve, but sometimes you just get stuck and you don't know how to get out of it. But what I'm trying to say, I guess, is that after all, we are humans and we all have our hard times. And you can be spiritual and you can be at the same time depressed. You can be spiritual and you don't have to always think in a positive way. You have the right to still be human and to have emotions and to sometimes react to a certain things. So don't beat yourself up for not acting as a spiritual person or your higher self would. That's all I have to say. Thank you for watching.